college. We've got 13 seniors in high school ready to go to college. We are just, it's amazing how many wonderful things we have added to help these kids make sure they graduate. You know, it used to be when we started was to get them into college. Now the key is, will they graduate? We are pretty confident that our kids will graduate at a rate of over 90%, when the national average for all students is 65, and for low-income students, which are our students, it's under 50. And how do we do that? We have 70 coaches, volunteers, who are working one-on-one with all our students. We are adding programs to give these kids self-confidence to make sure they will make it. And I don't want to spend any more time because I've given you the literature. If you have any questions at all, I would love to answer them. It takes $24,000 to send a kid to college from our standpoint for 4 years. We don't send them until we have 24. We don't want to have a situation where a child is in sophomore year and we don't have enough money. So we raise $24,000 per child before they go to college. And that's a pretty big hurdle for us, and we had to reduce the number of kids that we could send because of that. But we're committed to making sure we have the money on hand before we send them. Any questions about anything in the brochure or otherwise?
What are you requesting this year?
I'm sorry?
What is your request?
Well, do you, let me ask this, do you make more than one, for instance, we have people who make 4-year pledges?
No.
Okay, so yours is a 1 year?
A 1 year pledge.
We
cannot
are,
commit the next board to what we're.
I understand the situation perfectly. We appreciate the 6, if we could get 12, that would be wonderful. You asked?
You're right.
Good
Why
man.
didn't you ask for
Good
50?
man.
Well, we could ask for that too, I thought that'd be a little aggressive though.
I'll move that we give a donation of $7,500.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for $7,500. Any more discussion?
That's terrific.
Actually, I just wanted to say
Cheryl?
something about, I was looking at charitable contributions that we have made, and I think, you know, I think this is a wonderful organization. I do think, particularly because of the economy, I would expect that we may have more people coming, and so we may want to start thinking about at some point either having a budget for how much we want to allot for charitable contributions, or a cap or something like that. So I just want us to be cognizant of that.
I think it's only fair that I tell you, you are the only community that has made a community donation to CBO. That's very meaningful
We're
to
one
us.
of the few communities having any money.
Yeah, that's good too.
Right.
But you are kind enough to let us come, and we appreciate it. And we've spoken before Deerfield, others, and they haven't given us that opportunity. So I don't want you to think that we don't really appreciate it. And we are blessed in having an executive director who's just doing a terrific job, and that's made a huge difference. In fact, if you want, I send out about every 2 months updates on CBO, and usually they're case studies of kids and what's happened in their lives. If any of you would like to be added to my personal email list, I'd be happy to send them to you. I get very positive feedback from that. And since you are contributors, we'd love to have you on individually if you'd like.
Cheryl, you have the list of contributions. We don't have and not as much as I thought we did. Mostly to Center for Rich Living.
Right, and interestingly enough about that, when I was at an NSSRA meeting and said that the Village of Riverwoods had given money to the Center for Rich Living, they were all aghast. None of the other villages do that.
Most of
But
them don't have
what would you like to know?
funds.
I hate.
Oh, you've got it there?
Uh-huh, yeah. Did you want to know any totals or?
I'd like to know.
Yeah.
What would you
Tell
like to know?
Give
What
it
are
to
the
us.
I have them from 2005 through 2010.
Right.
Do you want me to list all of them?
Just what's an annual?
Annual?
Yeah.
2005, 8,000, 2006, 9,100, 2007, 16,000, but that included, that was mostly the 11,000 that went to the RPC for that one-time,
Okay.
catalog, I
Study.
guess we would call it,
Well,
study. 2008 was 7,500, 2009 was 12,950, and thus far this year is 8,500, and we did give 7,500 to Willow House.
Two?
Willow House.
So I'm still fine with the motion that I made.
I am too.
I'll still second it.
Okay, any more discussion?
Good information though.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Yeah, Cheryl asked for that, and I thought it was good, because I didn't really
No, I
know
think
what we
that's-
did
We need
ourselves.
to, we need
Yeah, I just think that, I'm kind of expecting that at some point, we're gonna have to start saying, okay, yes, you're all wonderful, but we have to
Right.
stop at some point.
There's only so much
Way
more
we
in
do
the
in our
world.
families, you know.
Right.
We'll be trying with our
Okay,
kids.
take a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Chamberlain,
Aye.
trustee Gratiter,
Aye.
trustee Haber,
Aye.
trustee Kunjan,
Aye.
trustee Masterson,
Abstain.
trustee Sadek,
Aye.
carries.
Okay.
By the way, Bruce pointed out, this list does not include Theater in the Woods.
Yeah, we might wanna scrub through the numbers, because I'm guessing
Yeah, I
if we
mean,
missed that one, I
the
probably
pro-
missed
the
something
pro-
else, that was a
Yeah.
biggie,
It was,
5 or?
5 or 10,
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
yeah.
I
You
think,
know what?
I think one of the things you could say about the organizations we have supported is that they all have
Local ties.
or Deerfield School connection.
That's really been our key, is to
That
have
has
the
been.
Right.
local connections.
Right, that's why I asked the last time you were here.
I can't thank you enough, I really appreciate it, very special.
Okay,
Thanks. Thank you.
we need the first reading of an ordinance, adding chapter 7 entitled Regulation of Vacant Buildings to Title 4 of the Riverville Code. We have a number of houses that are vacant, some of them are vacant and open, some of them are in very poor shape and really depreciating in the neighborhood, various neighborhoods.
You want a first reading tonight? Is that-
Yeah, just first reading.
Oh, yeah.
I make a motion for a first reading of
Second.
the ordinance.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
yeah, I did a quick read of it this afternoon, not as thorough as I might have. I didn't see any fee for just registration, and a lot of communities are requiring a registration fee, that's pretty common.
I think it's set forth in the annual fee schedule, so we have to separately
Right.
put that in the fee schedule.
What are we contemplating for that?
Well, I'll try and get you some information on what the other communities are doing.
And I can
They're
give you,
doing-
I can give you a number on about 15,000 properties as to what communities charge around the country. That's what we have in, our banks have in inventory.
Well, what are you suggesting? I mean,
I haven't looked at the number, I have to pull out of the database, but.
the idea of these things is, generally, the idea of fees is you're not raking in money from fees, you're just covering your administrative
But
costs, so.
we do have administrative
We
costs.
will have
too.
administrative costs.
Right.
You know what, I just worked on one of these for someone, and I don't recall what we did in the other community, so, I'll have to go back and look, but Northbrook, all these communities are doing these now, so.
Yeah, because it's an issue.
Okay.
Any other recommendations for him? So
Well, the only comment
send it
I
back to the
have-
drawing board?
Say what?
No, Bill.
Yeah, and then I did
My-
some too.
My only thought after reading this is that we don't have a sense of urgency in the proposed ordinance, and I think that many of the dates or timetables that we set are far too generous. Example, page 11, you have 60, 90, 30 days. I think all those ought to be cut back. 90 days, you're talking about Memorial Day to Labor Day to let somebody perform some act that is offensive to us in the boarding up of a home or whatever, and we're giving them 90 days to do certain things. On page 5, you're giving them 15 days. Page 4, you're giving them 60 days. I think those ought to be cut back, the 60 days to 30 days.